This is problem number 3, and in this problem there's a basketball game and there are several players in that basketball game and they score points in the game. And they score points, the number of points that they score is compared to or relative to another player's points, with the exception of May. In the end, they tell you how many points May scored, and that's going to be the key to solving this problem. Is no matter how many comparisons they give you in the problem, eventually they have to tell you the number of points that at least one player scored. And then you can use that to calculate back to figure out, in this case, how many points Elena scored. So that's the end. So you start out, Elena scored twice as many points as Tyler. So just draw an arrow. This is Tyler's number of points. And Elena scored twice that many. So draw 2 arrows. That's twice. That represents twice as many points as Tyler scored. Then it says that Tyler scored 4 points fewer than Noah. So Tyler plus 4 points equals Noah, or you can look at it as Noah is equal to, Noah is equal to Tyler plus 4 points, or you can look at it as Tyler is equal to Noah's number of points minus 4. So Tyler scores 4 fewer points than Noah scored. So here's Tyler, add 4 more points, you get to Noah, or start with Noah, subtract 4 points, and you get to Tyler. So they go back and forth. They are related in that way. And finally, they tell you that Noah scored 3 times as many points as May. So here's May. So Noah's the same length up here, but Noah scored 3 times as many points as May. And finally, they tell you how many points May scored. That's the key to solving the problem. They have to give you the number of points that at least somebody scored. So May scored 5 points. All right, so now you can work backwards. The question is, how many points did Elena score? So she's going to be X in the end. So May scored 5 points. That means that Noah scored 3 times as many points as that. So 3 times 5 is 15 points. Well, how many points did Tyler score? Tyler scored 4 points fewer than Noah. So Tyler scored 11 points. 15 minus 4 is 11. Well, then how many points did Elena score? Elena scored twice as many points as Tyler. So that means that Elena scored 22 points. Now, the idea is to turn these stories into equations and learn how to solve those equations. But it's always a good idea to include this diagram, this kind of diagram or some diagram of your own making. All right, so we're going to start out with Elena is equal to 2 times Tyler's score. So Elena, or E, equals 2T. 2 times Tyler's score equals Elena's score. Now we know that Tyler scored 4 points fewer than Noah. So we can replace Tyler's score with Noah's score minus 4 points. So this is the same as Tyler. So Elena scored twice as many points as Noah minus 4 points. So this is equal to Tyler, which is 4 points fewer than Noah. And then finally, we know that Noah scored 3 times as many points as May. So 3 times May is equal to Noah, so we can replace Noah's score with 3 times May's score. So now we have Elena is equal to 2 times 3 times May's score minus 4. This is Noah's score, and this is 4 points less than Noah's score. All right, and we know that May has scored 5 points. So 3 times 5 is 15. That's the number of points that Noah scored. 15 minus 4 is the number of points that Tyler scored, because remember, he scored 4 points fewer than Noah. So that's 11. And Elena scored twice as many points as Tyler, so 2 times 11 is 22. So going back and forth and figuring out what this single equation is the goal of these kinds of problems.